Wow, okay, we didn't go for this, the white knight holding things together. Instead, we see Fabi go for a different pawn. Now this bishop is free, hitting the white rook. This knight is on a nice square, still 2 pawns up. But how do you deal with the threat against this bishop? You have to be very calm. He guards it with his king. Suddenly anything could happen here, both sides going active. But look at this pawn. It could become a queen later on in the game. Yeah. If white doesn't have something now, this pawn will win the game.
20 seconds to Fabi. There's always a sacrifice on a3 that Hikaru has to watch out for. He attacks the rook, Fabi attacks the rook in return, but is that a big blunder?
Hit him with a move.
Hit him
with a move.
You've got rook c6.
Yep.
No, there.
Yeah, there's rook d8. It's going to happen. Well, let's see it. You're going to take my knight. I'll take yours. That was a big blunder by Fabiano. He did not have much time, and that was relentless counterplay by Hikaru Nakamura. So right now, Hikaru's up a piece, but that b3 pawn for black is very far advanced. So look at Fabi go. He's going to right after that pawn. He wants a passer of his own.
Fabi's shaking his head. He doesn't know what the evaluation of the position is. We see the eval bar says it's still equal, but in Fabi's head, he's just made a big blunder.
Yep, he basically had this exact position, but with an extra bishop. So he's thrown a bishop off the board, and he's still fighting. And here, he just has to keep moving, keep pace. 10 seconds on the clock. It's not easy, but Fabi's plan is simple, at least. He's going for those white pawns. At least it's one-way, kind of one-track mind right now. Just go for that those white pawns with everything you've got.
And the white knight is actually trapped back there. That knight can't get out of here, so maybe the black king will go backwards. And where's that knight going to? The answer is nowhere, and he does it. So actually, white might be frozen here.
Wow, yeah, the white bishop is stuck defending pawns, the white rook's stuck defending the white knight, which is trapped. White can only play with the king.
I saw this coming. Knight a3 and then rook c1, right? And then now you can't move the rook. Well, you can still move the knight now.
The knight's coming back.
Right, exactly. And I'm getting pawns. I'm like, hey, whatever. I'm about to go get the a pawn. Oh, my goodness. I go grab the a, right? Take on g and grab the a.
Maybe there's a b2 push at some point because the rook has to go back for white, and that means the knight is hanging.
Knight. Oh, my goodness.
It's on the board.
It is. It's on the board.
It's on the board. And this is completely lost because you end up with 2 extra pawns for black, but the king is getting very active.
Yeah, white's king very active. 2 pawns down, though. Fabi trying to trade off, trying to mop up, and that white a pawn, doomed. Forget about it. Go active with the white king. Everything's disappearing. I do think white should be just in time to save this game. Rook's pawns are not the best pawns to be pushing when you want to win. But, OK, nice, classy move there from Hikaru. He ties down that black rook, and he guards across the 4th rank. The white king will deal with that pawn. The white rook will deal with that pawn, and it should end in a draw. But you still have to be careful.
That's true. That's true.
Snake the white king back, and it's just in time. The white king will sit in front of that black pawn, and it's a draw. Look at Hikaru, so annoyed.
It's even a draw if white did not have this f2 pawn. That's how theoretically drawn it is. You could throw that pawn off the board. It doesn't matter. The white rook will just go back and forth. The king does not take that pawn. If that king ever took the pawn, the black rook would leave with check along the 1st rank, and then black would promote.
Yeah, and the player is there. And exactly what you're talking about, Robert, with that, it ends. And, wow, Hikaru looked a little angry at the end, but I have to say he has to be relieved. He was in so much trouble, so much pressure that even after Fabi blundered an entire piece, it was still fine for Fabi. And Hikaru there, after of relief, he knows he still stays in the game, but such an epic fight. And that's what we see in his expression after all those comments.